Good morning, everybody. Now, today I am here with the new topic Fort Ramalayam, a jewel in the crown of Nizamabad. Fort Ramalaya, a jewel in the crown of Nizamabad. So, it is a great monument in the Nizamabad district. Fort Ramalaya Fort. It is a big fort is there. So, in that fort, one Ramalaya temple is there. That's why it is known as a Fort Ramalaya. So, it is a jewel in the Nizamabad town. On the outskirts of Nizamabad, on the outskirts of the city of Nizamabad, a magnificent ancient temple sits atop the famous Nizamabad fort. This temple, called Raghunatha Temple, is a major tourist attraction and an important place to worship for the Hindu devotees of the district. Every year, thousands of devotees throng to the temple during the auspicious festival of Sri Ramanavami. On the outskirts of the city of Nizamabad, so the Fort Ramalaya, where is situated? It is situated at outskirts of the Nizamabad town. A magnificent ancient temple sits atop on the famous Nizamabad fort. So the temple is on the fort. This temple called Raghunatha Temple. So Fort Ramalaya having another name, that is Raghunatha Temple also. Raghunatha Temple also. The major tourist attraction and an important place to worship for the Hindu devotees in the district. So it is a major tourist attraction. So many people come to Nizamabad to see this Raghunatha temple or Fort Ramalaya. So it is a major attraction of the town. So many devotees, many Hindu devotees come to this place to worship Lord Rama. Every year, thousands of devotees throng the temple during the auspicious festival of Sri Ramanavami. So, on occasion of Sri Ramanavami, so thousands of the people from the different places, they will come to Fort Ramalaya to worship the god Lord Rama on occasion of Sri Ramanavami. So, here, on occasion of Sri Ramanavami, so many devotees coming to this place. The Nizamabad fort was built by Rashtrakuta kings in the 20th century AD. So this fort, this Ramalaya fort, is built by Rashtrakutas dynasty people, Rashtrakutas kings in the 10th century AD. In the 10th century AD, this fort was built by Rashtrakutas dynasty kings. The name of the town, they found Indrapuri or Indur. Actually, so what is the ancient name of Nizamabad? So it is Indur or Indrapuri. Ancient name of Nizamabad is Indur or Indrapuri. The name of the town, they found the Indrapuri or Indur. So who kept the name Indrapuri, Indur to Nizamabad? Rashtrakuta dynasties, Rashtrakuta dynasty kings. So kept the name of Indrapuri or Indur. In the year 1311, the fort was occupied by Alauddin Khilji. So in the year 1311, actually this fort was built by Rashtrakutas. Again, they kept the name of Indrapuri or Indur. In the year 1311, the fort was occupied by the Khilji dynasties. What is the name of the king here? Alauddin Khilji. So Alauddin Khilji occupied this town. The second ruler of the Khilji dynasty. So Alauddin Khilji is the second ruler of the Khilji dynasty. What's the name of the ruler? Alauddin Khilji. He is the second ruler of the Khilji dynasty. So he occupied the town and the temple in the year 1311. And later it was captured by the Brahmanis and the Qutub Shahis. So after Khiljis, this town and this temple, this fort was occupied by the Brahmani Sultans and Qutub Shahis. Finally, the Asif Jahis. So after that Qutub Shahis, then this fort and temple occupied by Asif Jahis, who were the Nizams of Hyderabad. So Asif Jahis are Nizams of the Hyderabad. They occupied finally this fort, Nizams of Hyderabad. Rebuilt the fort from the ruins of the earlier structure. Actually, they reconstructed the structure. Actually, some structure is ruined, so that's why they are reconstructed the Fort Ramalaya. The fort has a large area surrounded by walls with huge bastions at the corners. This fort has a large area surrounded by walls with huge bastions at the corners. Listen carefully. This fort have a long walls is there, long walls, huge bastions at the corners, glorifying the Asif Jahi style of architecture. So we are going to see Asif Jahi's architecture style in the Fort Ramalaya. There is a huge compound inside the wall of the fort. So there is a big compound is there in the inside the wall of the fort. This houses a mosque and school among the other structures. So in Fort Ramallah we are going to see one mosque also is there, one school is there. So in this structure, in this Fort Ramallah, in this fort, so one mosque is there, one school is there. On the way up to the fort there is a jail which was used by the Asif Jais. In the fort it is a big jail also. In those days Nizam dynasty rulers, they used this as a jail, as a prison. They kept criminals in that court, in that jail. On the left side of the fort there is a small tank called Raghunatha tank. So on the left side of the fort one tank is there, that is Raghunatha tank, that is Raghunatha tank. Fort Ramalaya is a huge, magnificent structure adorned with the corridors, mantapas and mahamantapas, a large Kalyana mandapam and spacious halls spread over approximately. So Fort Ramalaya having the huge, magnificent structure. What is the corridors are there? The huge corridors are there. Mantapas are there, mantapas and mahamantapas. So for the doing the worships, yagnas. So they're using mandapas and mahamandapas. Large Kalyana mandapam. There the marriages is going to be celebrated. Kalyana mandapam and spacious halls spread over approximately, again spacious halls also available in this Fort Ramalaya. 3,900 square feet. The entrance of the temple is similar to the entrance of the fort. So the temple entrance, again fort entrance is similar. There is a similarity in the both entrances. Where it is a fort entrance and again temple entrance. The idol of Lord Rama is the shape of tortoise kurma. So in the temple Fort Ramalaya, the idol of the Rama is in a shape of kurma, that is tortoise. The halls have a unique system of ventilation that always keep them cool. Listen carefully. The halls have a unique system. So the hall is constructed in a different manner. That's why it is a very cool in every season. The temple also has a 53-foot high pillar. So this temple having 53-foot high pillar. A lamp is lit every day on the top of the pillar. So this pillar having one lamp every day, this lamp they are going to be lightening. Below the hillock there is a Hanuman temple which dates back to the 17th century and is said to have been built by Chhatrapati Shivaji. So below the hillock and in Fort Ramalaya, Raghunatha temple having Hanuman temple also. Actually it was constructed by Chhatrapati Shivaji in the 17th century. So some people saying that this Hanuman temple was constructed by Chhatrapati Shivaji, the Maharashtra King Chhatrapati Shivaji. He was constructed in 17th century. In the year 17th century, he was constructed that Hanuman temple. Shivaji built this temple at the behest of his mentor Samrat Ramdas. Actually, why Chhatrapati Shivaji constructed a temple here? So in memory of his Guruji, in memory of his Guru, what is the name of that Guru? Samrat Ramdas, in his memory, so he constructed that temple. Local says that this was where the sage Maharshi Raghunatha Swami sat for tapasya. Again somebody says that so Maharshi Raghunatha Swami, so he came to this serene place and he done the prayer here, tapasya. That's why this temple has called as a Raghunatha temple. So why is the temple having the Raghunatha? So some saint, so one saint is there, Maharsha Raghunatha Swami came to this Fort Ramalaya. Again he worshipped here for long time as a tapasya. That's why this place having another name, that is Raghunatha temple. The fort includes a meditation hall where the sage spent years praying for salvation. Again one meditation hall also is there. So many sages spent year for praying here. So one meditation hall also is there. The entire city of Nizamabad can be seen from the temple. So when we want to see entire Nizamabad city, so when we have in Ramalaya, Fort Ramalaya, so the city capture we are going to be see here. Entire city is going to be visible from Fort Ramalaya. Though it is a historical site of the great importance, there is still remains which must to be done to develop it into beautiful tourist spot. Listen carefully. Actually, it is a very historical place. So in this Fort Ramalaya, so many big history is there, but still it should be developed as a tourist place. So it should be attracted to the stories. So all the people of Nizamabad should be think that it place should be developed as a tourist place. So the government of Telangana, again the government of India should consider this place as a tourist place. Again they have to develop this temple. The Department of Tourism in the year 2001 took some steps to renovate the stairs at the Garbhagudi, but still more can be done to develop the vast expanses below the temple into a beautiful gardens and construct an open-air auditorium for organizing cultural programs. So in the year 2001, the Department of Tourism has done some repair work. They concentrated on some work, but it should be do more and more work. So they renovate Garbhagudi. So but still some development work has to be take apart. It should be developed as a open air auditorium. It should be construct. Listen carefully. It should be construct open air auditorium for organizing cultural programs. Moreover, the fort itself can be developed further to make it tourist attraction by illuminating the structure using light throws and by constructing fountain that use the water from Raghunatha tank. So it should be, so it's a great history available here. So all the authorities should be think that, so you should be construct renovate this Fort Ramalaya and develop to attract the tourist place. So questions. Describe the location of Fort Ramalaya. So where is the Fort Ramalaya? Fort Ramalaya is located at outskirts of Nizamabad. Fort Ramalaya located at outskirts of Nizamabad. According to the passage, who rebuilt the Nizamabad fort? Who rebuilt the Nizamabad fort? According to the passage, who rebuild? Rebuild, not build, rebuild. The Rasakutas, the Romains, the Asif Jais, the Qutub Shahis. The Asif Jais, rebuild. What is the answer here? Asif Jais rebuild the Fort Ramalaya. According to the passage, which of the following statement is not correct? According to the passage, which is the statement is not correct? Fort Ramalaya is a site of great historical importance. Fort Ramalaya is a site. Fort Ramalaya is a site of a great historical importance. The architecture of the fort examples Asif Jai architecture. The Hanuman temple was built by Chhatrapati Shivaji. There is nothing more to done to develop the fort as a tourist attraction. So first three is a right one. What is the first one? Fort Ramallah is a site of great historical importance. This is truth only. The architecture of the fort examples Asif Jai architecture. This is also correct. The Hanuman temple was built by Chhatrapati Shivaji. This is also is correct. The last one, the fourth D one, is wrong. There is nothing more to done to develop the fort as a tourist attraction is a wrong one. What is the main feature of the fort? What is the main features of the fort? So there is a huge compound. What is the main feature here? There is a huge compound inside the walls of the fort. This houses mosque and a school among other structures. On the way up to the fort, there is a jail which was used by the Asif Jais. On the left side of the fort, there is a small tank called Raghunatha tank. So what is the answer here? There is a huge compound inside the wall of the fort. This houses a mosque and a school among the other structures. On the way up to the fort, there is a jail. There is a jail which was used by the Asif Jais. On the left side of the fort, there is a small tank called Raghunatha tank. According to the passage, what are the steps that can be taken to further develop the fort? what more can be done according to you? Last question, according to you, can be done to develop. So what we have to do here, so then the garden, we should construct, perform the cultural activities. More the four tourist attraction by light shows and becoming found. So what Raghunatha temple, the first one, more in develop vast expenses build the temple into beautiful gardens. They construct an open-air auditorium for organizing cultural programs. Moreover, the fort itself can be developed further to make each a tourist attraction by illuminating the structure, using light shows, and by constructing the mountains that use the water from the Raghunatha tank. So this is the fort Ramalaya. So fort Ramalaya is a jewel in Hyderabad town. So fort Ramalaya having another name, that is Raghunatha temple. So actually this fort was built by Rashtrakutas. First of all, who built this? Rashtrakutas. So after that they kept the name of Indrapuri or Indur. So in the year 1311, so Khilji dynasty rulers occupied this fort and this Nizamabad. After that Brahmanis, after this Asifjais. So next one, soft skill. Know these selves. Listen carefully. First of all, you should know yourself, what you are, what is your strength and what is your weakness. If you know yourself, then you will do the things in a better. So otherwise, you are going to be taste the failures. First of all, you know what you are, what is your knowledge, so what are your limits. Okay, what is your weakness, what is your strength. So then only you are going to be success in your attempt. Know thyself as an ancient Greek aphorism. An aphorism is a short, condensed, instructive saying. In ancient Greek, the saying was meant to be warning to those who boasted too much or those who did not pay attention to public opinion. So know this itself is an aphorism. So it is giving the warning or awakening that person so who boasted so much. Listen carefully. So we should not boast ourselves. So we know we know what our strength, we know what our weakness. Oneself, we should aware of our own talent and aptitudes. So one should know what is your talent, what is your aptitudes. The discovery will be the platform and beginning of a lifetime of learning and growth. So you should be learn every day. So no one is having the entire knowledge. So we should learn daily. So for learning there is no limit. But how do you discover your natural talent and preferences? So you should be describe. You should be outcome what you are. One important tool of self-discovery is paying attention and taking note of your own experiences, actions, and reactions. So how you are going to be discover yourself? So you take attention what you are. So everyone should be learn everywhere. Again, you should be having the good behavior, good attitude, positive thinking. So you should not think negatively. So work hard. Whatever the assignments you have, you should be work hard to get the good results. So as a student, it is very very useful power to you. It is a very very useful skill to you. So you know what you are. You should be. Thank you.